believe we are live. Yes, we are. We have one person watching. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, as usual, Liam Cross. Um, we are here for Ero Ps F3 Season 8, Round 13, at the Spanish Grand Prix Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. We have 19 drivers here today. One not quite with us yet, but will be joining in qualifying. And thankfully, we have the championship leaders of Temesis and Lockig ready to battle it out once more, also possibly Bankst, to win the coveted F3 crown. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Apologies if I sound a bit tired today. I am very tired. I've got about 6 hours sleep in the last 70 hours. It's been a bad few days. But we'll be adjusting. I will get involved soon enough. I'll get into the flow. We don't need to see that. We're going to get the details up. Actually, no. Laxa on the intermediates. Linus serving a quali ban today may really hurt his chances of them finishing in the top 5 or so. And no, not Susie. Yoloman also serving a qualifying ban of his own. Not being here with us for a few days. Happy to see him back. But either way, we're going to take a lap with Fabrizio Troncoso, the Spaniard himself, coming down to turn 1, and Alfa Romeo getting out of the way, keeping nice to the curb, swinging the car in. Lovely stuff, clipping both curbs. A wide entry into turn 3, which never seems to end. But getting on the power, coming down into turn 4, another sweeping right-hander. Bit of a braking zone itself into turn 5, downhill left-hander. Getting the exit perfectly down a tiny kink of turn 6, turn 7 and turn 8. A lovely connecting corner. Every corner here is a really nice one, barring the final sector, I have to say. Turn 9, upwards trajectory, going to the right hand side. Don't even have to brake sometimes. Into the new turn 10 complex. People still not sure where to brake there, including myself. Into turn 12. Little bit of a carousel. I mean, again, every corner here is so fast. Turn 13, all going a little bit wide, but keeping it on the track with a horrible chicane. Everyone agrees. Horrible chicane. Final corner now, another full speed section, and across the line is a 119.2. I don't know where that's going to put in amongst the pigeons, but a relatively good lap time so far. Pavel Dudek going even faster with a 117.9. And Andreas with a 118.3, so some really good lap times on the board already. We have a Ferrari spinning out in the final sector of Bankst. Not what he would have wanted to see from his first qualifying lap. Next up will be Temesis. Can he stamp his authority? Yes, he can. A 117.4. Wow. That's a very fast lap time. Only a half a tenth faster than Captain Emre, however. So it's going to be competitive. This qualifying session will be competitive. Porbeck giving up on his lap time. For the pit entry, cutting the green is allowed, as long as you don't cut the white line separating the track from the pit. You're fine, and that actually includes essentially the bollard. There's a bollard in between the pit lane and the track. If you cut that, it's illegal. It's easy enough to remember. So I certainly hope people will be remembering that. Can I get a comment going? Someone let me know you're receiving me loud and clear. Ivan Belov sitting on 117.9, and Lockig Lau didn't even notice this. My apologies. Lockig Lau a 117.1, 3 tenths bigger than Temesis. And wow, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if that's a lap time that can be beaten. Very early in the session, I know. Maybe I'm preempting. Um, but that looks like a fantastic lap time. Apo, a 2:16.2, not quite, not entirely sure what happened there. Well, yeah, that would make sense actually. Spinning a lot, heating up the tyres way too much. They're probably on about 110 degrees right now, and simply not able to keep the car on track. Yolman currently on an outlap. He's allowed to do one outlap as an installation, but hopefully he does and come back into the pit lane. I will check just to make sure, because if he doesn't, and if he does commit a flying lap, I actually have to disqualify him. Nearly losing the car. Nice to see you in the chat, Fabrizio. Hope you enjoy your home Grand Prix. Into the pits comes Yoloman, not setting a flying lap, and hopefully he will retire from the session, or just stay in the pit lane and retires. Beautiful. The qualifying ban has been observed. Good to see. There's still a little bit of something going on in the middle sector. I'm not sure. Not the middle sector. Technically, it actually is the middle section now. Okay, fair enough. It looks like Andreas and Edzak on outlaps. Ready to go for their second attempt at qualifying here. Only 9 people getting to the lap time as well. That's I'm not familiar with Spain being a track that isn't, you know, with an abundance of places to invalidate your lap time. Clearly people struggling quite a bit here. Susie is not struggling, however. 1:17.3 for the Haas man before letting Mercedes through, but I want to get back on board with Andreas. Apo, I really don't know what's going on here. This has been terrible driving. Since I've been on board with Apo, it's been less than impressed. I'd like to see him go to the pit lane now. Give up on whatever he's attempting. Either way, Andreas now on his qualifying lap, and he's half attempt up in the first sector. Would like to be seeing a little bit more gains, I would imagine. Considering he's a second behind in qualifying, there's another yellow flag in the final sector. I believe Russell Williams letting through a Ferrari, so good to see that. Oh, a little bit wide for Andreas in turn 6 and 7. Turn 8, taking beautifully. What's turn 9, taking beautifully. And in this new corner, let me know in the comments, do you prefer this corner? Or did you prefer the old version of the corner where it was a bit more sharp, it was more of a hairpin? Personally, I prefer the hairpin. I don't think that bit of the track was that bad. I know it was also done for MotoGP, but I prefer the old layout. As Andreas comes across the line, it's going to be in 1:17.8, managing to gain 4 tenths on his lap time, putting in P6. It's still quite a bit away from the pole sitters. And Ed Sack going P10 on the 1:18.3. I believe Mercedes were doing a little bit of teammateship there. Alex Wells giving Tamisis a slipstream on the second DRS straight, just to let Tamisis get a little bit more power, oomph into the car. Really good teamwork. I wonder if it works. Coming across the line, Tamisis goes pole. by 300ths of a second, so it's absolutely worked. Beautiful to see. Um, to me, he says, on pole for now. Lokic Lau is going to have to pull something out of the bag to improve, but he's already doing it. He's a 10th and a half up currently on this lap time, so relatively reasonable to assume that he's going to improve unless this final sector goes horribly wrong. Coming around the penultimate set of corners, taken beautifully, I have to say. Final corner, again, is essentially a straight line, opening the DRS across the line. It's a 116.9, and Temesis was on pole for a matter of seconds. That's so disappointing for him after putting everything into that lap time. But it's not quite gonna come out for fruition. As Sean Goring bought his lap time for whatever reason, and Alex Wells now setting his lap time. Maybe Temesis setting him through with a bit of slipstream as well. Beautifully done. Alex Wells is a fairly quick qualifier. What's it going to be from the man from Manchester? It's going to be a P2, a 117 flat. Lovely stuff. And Barry Kruger next up from F4, setting a 117.3, putting in P5. Absolutely lovely time there. Susie, can he improve? No, not quite. I mean, you have a crash. Banks losing the car. Oh dear. It's really unfortunate for Banks. He just lost it on fourth to the last corner. I think when you clip the yellow curb on entry of that corner, you can lose the car. Kind of unsettles it. You go up into the air for a little bit and you come back into the wall. That's so unfortunate for Banks. P9 is the best he'll be starting from today, but I'm sure he can come back in the race. We have 33 laps of this circuit, remember. Short circuit, kind of, maybe too many laps, but we're going to see either way. A good battle, hopefully. Something to keep me awake. Maybe Susie's lap time can keep me awake though, Susie. Been a bit of a mixed bag recently, but usually has the pace. Luck not being on his side for a few Grand Prix, but keeping it tight and into the pit lane. So clearly that was not an improvement. Could have been something, but nah, thought better of it. Next up is gonna be Fabrizio, but I believe he's actually starting a lap time. Yeah, no point being on board with that. What about Edzak? Definitely not on a lap time. Very slow. I think this is his out lap. Yes, it is. He's going to be setting a flying lap. Oh, as for Fabrizio, unfortunately spins. So that flying lap already ruined. He's going to have to come to the pit lane, put on a new set of tyres and go immediately. Making sure not to get in the way of Andreas, and he doesn't. Beautifully done. Andreas still not improving for whatever reason. He's really struggling to find time this sector as there's an Alpine coming across the line. I believe it's of Apo. Can he improve? No, we can, but it's now a 135.2, so not much better. Andreas losing the front end of the car there. That may have ruined his lap. Very much a momentum-based track. Everything's high speed, and yeah, Andreas has already pulled out of it. It's not worth running if you're not running fast. But Edzak is running fast, however. Getting his final section of corners is so important, but he hits the yellow sausage curve, which may have compromised his run into the final corner. DRS activated. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 117.9. Bit of improvement, but not much. J's P13 would have hoped for more. Fabrizio trying to set another lap time. Didn't feel like he had enough time to pit on those soft tyres. See if he's right or wrong there, but coming down to the final corner and lovely on the brakes. clipping the curb, trying to qualify higher than P14 today. There was a little bit of a moment in the Discord. Lots of people wanting Fabrizio on pole, even a hashtag being formed. So it'd be good to see if Fabrizio could at least do a good qualifying session to make them proud. A little bit wide, turn 5, but nothing too bad, and then turn 6 and 7. Oh, lovely done it. Lovely done actually. Tight on entry there. Oh, I think you had to let go of the car a little bit. And let it go of the throttle, pardon me, losing the car. Which is very easy to do in that corner. Around the carousel. Beautifully done. Is he improving? I believe so. Oh, very, very tight entry for that corner. Gone in the validation. We've got a retirement in the pits. It's Edsack. Unimproved. Where's it going to be for Fabrizio? It's going to be a 118.8. Unfortunately, keeps him P14. But still a good lap time, nevertheless. And he should be proud of himself for that one. And Tomesis has retired in the pit lane. That's interesting. Tomesis content with P3. Maybe just realised he didn't have enough time to come out again, which is entirely possible. We have a yellow flag, and it's for, I mean, it's an Alpine spinning, so you'd assume that would be Apo after House of Days went about. Ivan, P7 for the Russian, 117.4, followed by Williams of Paweł Dudek, setting his lap time. Got Apo retiring on track. I believe that was in the wall, so not an issue. Also, Barry Kruger in the wall at turn 2. Lots of retirements today. I think there's going to be quite a few safety cars. At least it's looking that way. Ferrari of Ivan getting out of the way beautifully as Paweł Dudek going for his lap time. Porbeck up next, and it's going to be a P11 for him, a 117.8, followed by Susie across the line. And he's starting his lap time, so that was good to know. Ennis next, completely giving up the lap. He will be starting possibly from P19. Although when he crosses the line, he'll be fine. Yeah, P15 for the Albanian. Captain Emre, no, Lucky Glau looking to improve on his lap time. Alex Wells putting him under pressure, and it's a 116.7. That's a fantastic lap time. It's going to be a bit too hard for Alex Wells to beat. You're going to have to think. Yeah, and Alex Wells giving up the lap. Cannot beat a lap time like that, understandably so. Paweł Dudek, can he improve? Yes, he can. P6, followed by Captain Emre, who's going to qualify on the 4th row. Only P7 for him. And Ivan Belov entering the pit lane. I believe he may have a few people still setting a lap. No, I was actually wrong there. Unless it's Crystal. Yeah, no, sorry. My apologies. Sean Goring is still going around this circuit. Where's he going to qualify? He's probably aiming for just the top 10. Lovely done in this final section of corners. Around the final corner in full speed. 6th gear. DRS activated. Down to the line. It's going to be P11. 117.8 for the F4 reserve. Not quite a top 10 finish. But it was so close. Only half a tenth in it. Lovely stuff. And Corbeck retiring from the session finally. And that is it for qualifying. Susie with a 116.8. Apologies for missing that one. That's a fantastic lap time, getting in P2. But the man on pole, Lucky Glau, the man people are going to have to watch out for. The title's not wrapped up by any means, but if someone can wrap it up, it's going to be Lockig. Mercedes round out the second row, followed by Captain Emre and Barry Kruger. Paweł Dudek in P7, followed by Ivan Karakov, with the Hungarians of Relodia and Banks rounding out the top 10. Crystal And Andreas round out the 6th row of the grid, followed by Porbeck and Edzak, with Fabrizio and Ennis behind Apo, the last of the qualifiers, and Yolman and Laxa serving grid penalties. We're going to have 19 drivers, 33 laps, maybe a safety car, maybe two. Probably quite some good battles, a little bit of strategy. I'm excited. If you're enjoying this video, this live stream, please like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Click the link in the description below. Join the Discord. Chat to the drivers. Race with the drivers. Chat to me. It'd be lovely to have you on board. You don't need to race. We're building just a community as well. Apo struggling here. Please no distract next season. I can not confirm or deny if this track will be on next season's calendar. But it'll be something. 10 seconds left until the start of this Grand Prix. We're going to immediately cut into the 5 light segment. As the formation lap is still glitched, apparently. No surprise, but 3, 4, 5 lights. And away we go for Ero Ps F3 at the Spanish Grand Prix for round 13 of this championship. Susie getting a horrific start there, jumped by Alex Wells immediately to Mises, not getting a great start. Unlike his usual antics, and Lockie Lau flying away with things for now, and Barry Kruger into P2, possibly going around the outside of turn 3. Alex Wells trying to defend and losing the car. Barry Kruger getting P2. That was a fantastic race start from him. Susie falling down the order a little bit. Mises looking to get by on the hard compound of tyres. And we got a spinner in the back, possibly. No, just very, very harsh battling. And it's Ennis. No. Ennis down in P19 there, possibly with damage. Patrick Fargo looking to get an overtake on Mises, and he does into the inside using those medium tyres to good effect. But they're going side by side again. Are they going to make contact? No, not quite. And that's a really, really good move there. Really good battling from those two. Mises to the outside of turn 10 now. And there's been contact. Ivan Karakov making contact there. And then Paweł Dudek spinning quite early on in the corner there, so possibly making contact himself. Banks falling down the grid, so possibly even wing damage from him. Edzak as well, losing control of the car. It's been carnage for the first lap of this Spanish Grand Prix, but it looks like a good one. Yet Banks into the pit lane with wing damage. Paweł Dudek carrying on, but obviously not ideal for him. It's a real shame to see him fall away so quickly. Barry Kruger, what a start. 4 positions gained, and that was in the first 3 corners. Incredible stuff from him. The man, usually in F4, unless it's power outages in South Africa, our only African driver in all of Ero. He's doing himself proud. Paweł Dudek spinning once more. This race looked like it was going to be really good for him. The prospects were high, and the promise has not been so unfortunate. Mises now fully ahead of Reload Dia. We got a little bit of battling by Laxa and Schongoring, 2 Germans battling it out. Linus making good work after his quali ban. Sophie Ullman are both up 7 positions, and some of them look to be not just because of spins, but actual on-track overtakes. Lovely to see is Lucky Glaus. That's the fastest lap of this race, pulling away from Barry Kruger immensely. Alex Wells looking for the overtake around the outside of turn 1. Is he going to get it? He's going to have to brake later. Might be pushed out at the inside of turn 2, but no, he enforces his will. Gets to the inside before Barry can get there, and gets P2 of this Grand Prix. And Barry may be falling down the order a bit. We got a spinner, and it's Patrick Fargo. Oh dear. Maybe on the throttle for a little bit too long at turn 3, and he's lost control of the car into the gravel. It's going to make his tyres very hot, and he's down to P16. Yoloman going for an overtake on Porbeck around the outside. Truly, Lena's trying to capitalise on Porbeck going a bit slowly now to the inside of turn 6. Gets the move done. Porbeck not fighting it too much. Not sure what happened there. Seems to have lost the car possibly before getting Yoloman through. But now Yoloman and Lena's gaining 9 positions. And I'm telling you, in Ero Ps F3, getting a quality ban is a bit of a blessing. For some reason, people feel invigorated driving the track when they have that qualifying ban. I can't explain it, but it's just the truth. It's a weird thing, but it works. It appears to happen. It started off by Apo. And now when you get a qualifying ban, you just seem to fire. So the fire gets set alight inside you. Which is good to see. It means more people competitive, willing to do even more work to get back to the top. But Lucky Glau, after 4 laps of this, well, 3 laps technically, is pulling away with this ever so slightly. And Ennis pitted. Only just noticed Ennis had pitted. This has been a disastrous season for Ennis. He gets wing damage every single race. Maybe he needs to be a bit more cautious in the opening moments of the race. Maybe he needs a little bit of luck on his side. We'll find out. But Barry Kruger not in the DRS of Alex Wells. And with that train of cars behind him of Emre, Susie, Tomesis, Ivan, Andreas, Yoloman, it's going to be hard to defend. And it's the same said for Ero Laxa, overtaken by Porbeck. And he's left the session. No! He's got internet issues. Oh dear. His rural German village doesn't have the internet capacities for this race. Oh, how unfortunate. And we've got a yellow flag. And it's for Fabrizio spinning. Oh dear. On the soft compound as well, so we'll have to pit very, very early. But that's unfortunate to see. Apo into the pit lane. You'd have to assume with damage this early on. Yep, the front wing getting a change. Not sure when he crashed, possibly with Fabrizio. But he has crashed. And now, as Linus joins the session again, good to see. You have to think here, for Barry Kruger, can he keep the cars behind? Captain Emery has already got past and now charging up to Alex Wells. But Barry Kruger, he's going to have to fight like a lion to keep this position. Or let cars through and then tactically use DRS to keep in the train. It's possible. It is definitely possible. But it may be tight. Everyone in the front seemingly on mediums, apart from Tomesis on the hard. So that's an interesting strategy call. It will come back for him at the end of this race when he's on the mediums, the faster compound. He may be able to catch the lock kick. But when he's stuck in the train, it's not necessarily that helpful. With Susie going for an overtake on Barry Kruger now. Kruger getting a poor exit on the final corner and letting the position go. Susie up to P4 and keeping within the DRS train of Captain Emre, so not losing any time due to the battling. As Andreas falls away out of the DRS zone, and Yoloman now very, very close behind. Yoloman likely going for an overtake next lap, unless Andreas can gain 5 tenths from somewhere to keep within the DRS. Certainly be tight. And interestingly, Banks and Apo pitting onto the hard tyres after their early pit stops. Ennis, on the other hand, onto the mediums, meaning he won't be able to go the full race distance. We're going to get a flag, and it's Patrick Fargo once more. He's been doing so well this latter half of the season, but now the tyres, maybe the tyre pressure's wrong. I don't know, but he's being a bit error prone today, wearing the fish helmet, which is a horrible helmet, just wanted to say. I don't understand the fish helmet, and Alex is also running it. I don't get it. I don't get the humour. Barry Kruger holding on to position here. Andreas also holding on, but Yullerman looking like he could go for an overtake into turn 4. No, not quite. Very close to the back of Andreas, though. And a dive bomb could be in the works if Patrick Farkas speeds into the pit lane. That may be the end of his Spanish Grand Prix if he's retiring in the pit lane. Doesn't seem it so far, but 5 seconds just maybe a final nail in the coffin for him. But Andreas keeping Yullerman behind, even without a DRS. Maybe he's got a bit of a low drag setup, but he's keeping him behind. Very, very nicely done. As the train stagnates a little bit. Ivan Karakov very close to the back of Tamisis. Could look for a move. Going to get a flag in the middle sector, and it's for Fabrizio once more. Oh no. His tyres are a bit dead. He may be in the wall as well as Yullerman goes for the move, gets it done. Ivan Karakov not quite making the move. Tamisis and Fabrizio. Is Fabrizio okay? I believe he's stuck on a curb. No! You're allowed to reset, Fabrizio. Reset! Reset! Fabrizio, reset the... No, no, please, I don't want you to go out like this. Reset! Reset the car. Reset the car. Just reset the car. Reset the car. Reset the car. Why are you not disqualified yet? Reset the car. Reset the car. Please hear me. Reset the car. Reset the car. Come on. You're allowed to do it. No. No. Oh no. What a horrible home Grand Prix. Oh dear. From the man from Spain, Fabrizio Troncoso, who's excited for this race. He's been giving everyone goodwill the entire session. And then that happens. Oh no. I feel horrible. As poor Beck and Apo suffering from spins, and Apo, I don't know what's going on with it. Apo, oh, Jesus Christ. Apo's car may be broken, because that is not a place to spin. That really is a weird place to spin. Yeah, it's not looking good for Apo. His tyres are very hot. That's dangerous. I will report that. That was dodgy Apo. So yeah, but the train, oh my god. Yeah, Apo, yeah, it's not been a good day for Apo. Letting drivers through though, that was a better rejoin. But yeah, this has not been his day in the cockpit. Letting McLaren through. Letting Laxa through. What is he doing now? He's got a 10-second time penalty. That was a safe enough rejoin. I'm expecting Apo to be in the pit lane to retire from the session after just a disastrous Grand Prix. Oh my god. Span it in the pit lane. Would almost certainly have cycle damage now. It's speeding in the pit lane penalty and then retirement from the session in one. Yeah, okay. That was a disastrous 2 laps. So Apo now out of this Grand Prix alongside Fabrizio, only 17 runners. Oh, Fabrizio, you're not allowed to reset the car usually, but when you're in a situation such as you were, so the car won't move. Yeah, when you're essentially stuck, you're allowed to reset. But I think it gave a good piece of stream footage, so it's okay. but I'm sorry that your home Grand Prix ended the way it did. Oh, I'm gutted. I'm heartbroken. But anyway, back onto the race because we kind of neglected it for a bit. Ivan Karakov, 3 tenths behind. It's looked like the move is inevitable. To the inside, can Barry Kruger fight it? Not really. He's going to get the slipstream, but that's about it. Patrick Farger spinning now and is going to be lapped next. Really been a bad day for the Alpines. Oh no, what? He's just teleported back up in front. Okay. I don't trust this game anymore. He definitely spat off, didn't he? The game told me that. Broken rear ring. Rear ring. No. Broken rear wing. It's not funny, it's disastrous. How could you say such a horrible thing, Apo? How did you get a red rear ring? Re How did you get a red rear wing, Apo? I would like to know that. As Barry Kruger keeping in Ivan's DRS, but Tamesis and Yoloman looking very hot on the trails here. I expect Tamesis to go for an overtake even now. Even with Barry in the DRS, Tamesis is so close. I think Tamesis can pull it off. Barry going a little bit wide in the penultimate section of corners, looking a bit slow. Possibly that starting lap not indicative of true pace, but Tamesis, ooh, that was maybe a little bit dodgy, but Tamesis flashing with the ERS, not able to go for the overtake, and getting stuck behind Barry Kruger with these hard tyres. It may not be the best thing for his championship fight. He can catch Luckig. Don't get me wrong, he can catch Luckig. But for now, he's losing quite a lot of time to Barry. That is going to be valuable when they put on the different sets of compounds. I'm not sure this is worth it so far. But Demesis is going to go for the overtake again very soon. He needs to get past, and he knows that more than me. If he wants the championship to stay alive. And Alex Wells up front, the other Mercedes driver. Interestingly enough, losing a little bit of time with Lockig, but Captain Emre and Susie are absolutely catching up. And if Captain Emre can overtake Alex, that may be the championship wrapped up. Not just for Lockig. But for AlphaTauri. Let me get the standings up. Sorry for talking so slowly. I really do just want to go to sleep. But I'll make it, I'll make it. As I pull back into the pit lane on lap 13, onto the hard compound. So that's indicative of when people are going to start pitting. Makes sense, 20 laps on the hards, 13 on the mediums, that's reasonable. Interested to see when the front runners go out though, especially Alex, Emre and Susie. People that have something to lose on the overcut or the undercut. And are probably planning their strategy around what other people do. Just make sure not to ruin everything. Because, hang on, let me reword this. The important thing here is that your strategy call may be the wrong one as Susie into the pit lane for the hard compound. But the strategy call you make may be the wrong strategy call. But getting in your own head, thinking you've done the wrong thing, and then saying, well, I need to do a different strategy now. Thinking I need to now go to the safety car period. Yeah, doesn't always work. I've done it a few times. And that when that safety car doesn't come out, then what? You have a puncture. It's a realistic risk. Or you pit and you lose 10, 15 seconds. That otherwise, you would have only lost 2. it's not worth it. So Captain Emre and Gio, they're going to see. Well, actually, no, they're not going to see. But they're going to think, is Susie stuck? Is Susie losing time on these hard tyres? They're going to work it out. And they may be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Possibly one pitting now, one pitting later. We're going to find out. It's going to be interesting to see. Is the under or overcut worth it? And both Emre and Alex into the pit lane. We get another yellow flag, and it's for Andreas, however, losing the car out of the carousel with Edzak and Susie fast approaching. Who's going to win in the pit stop battle? It's easily Alex Wells, sorry, my bad. But are they going to beat Susie? It's going to be tight. It's Andreas into the pit lane. Alex Wells out of the pits first. And Susie absolutely losing time. You can see just how far away the cars are ahead. But that's indicative of the fact that these hard tyres take a while to heat up. So expect Emre and Alex to be going quite slow. You can kind of see them already struggling. Edzak on the hard tyres as he started on will probably catch them, maybe even overtake them. He's going to be stuck here, but you can see just how slow Emre and Alex are going. These tyres take a while to set in. They are not friendly tyres. If you think back to Lewis Hamilton and in Bahrain in real life in 2022, coming out of the pit lane thinking the tyres would react normally and completely overshooting the first corner, being overtaken by Wang Yuzhou, much to the delight of Chinese commentators. It's just not worth it, as now Lucky Glau into the pit lane. And I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Barry Kruger now in the lead of this race. Can they make any gains on Lucky whatsoever? I doubt it. Susie will still be in the DRS, helped by Edzak, although very, very high wings. And Edzak going for the move on Captain Emre. Is he going to get it done? Yeah, easily done, easily done. The tyres should have set it in by now, but maybe Edzak just has a bit more confidence on these tyres. With the hard tyres, the more you race on them, sometimes they do get a bit quicker. And they're built for durability. They're built to be sustainable. It's a good tyre. It's a good race tyre. But now Edzak in between Emre and Alex Wells is not a good thing for Emre. Emre needs to get back past Edzak as soon as possible, or use Edzak to carry him back to Alex, because this gap, it's only growing. It's a second and a half now, and Alex Wells could start flying away with things if Emre has Edzak in his path. Barry Kruger, the next man to pit, leaving Tomesis in a free air. Tomesis now has to just drive on his own, focus on his own race to see if he can get in front of Lockig. It's going to be tight. It's going to be a nail biter if it's to work. But I'm excited to see Captain Emre with the DRS open. But is he going to be able to make the move on Edzak? No, not quite. Didn't even go for it in the end, but very, very close on the back. But he's losing more time. He's lost another half a second since we last spoke about it. That was only in maybe 40 seconds. He's clearly stuck behind Edzak here. Edzak not like particularly slow, but just slow enough to be a bit of a nuisance here. And Susie right on the back of Captain Emre. Edzak taking some unorthodox lines, which aren't helping either. It's now 2.5 seconds, the gap. And Alex has been given a lifeline here. And so is Tomesis, really. These are the guys that Tomesis is probably battling. And Tomesis staying out, won't pit into this traffic. Meanwhile, Emre is fully stuck behind. And what's the fate? What do you mean fate? What do you mean, fate? Who's faking? What are you talking about? Either way, Captain Emre DRS open once again. Edzak flashing, but he's just not going to catch. He's not going to catch, and now 2.7 seconds behind. This is becoming a bit of a crisis. I'm not faking. I've just got a cold. In the slipstream, but it's just not. It's not coming to fruition, especially in this sector of corners. But Edzak does appear to be quite a bit slower. This is weird. It's weird to watch. Captain Emre is using so much time to Alex Wells, but just can't. That was such a bad joke. Susie looking to make an overtake, possibly. No, not quite. Getting a tighter line, but going much slower in turn 8. So it's just not quite materialising. No, it's turn 9, isn't it? Yeah, turn 9. Captain Emre is gaining on attack everywhere, but the final few corners. And in those final few corners, the chicane neutralises their speed, and Captain Emre can't go for the overtake. But he's getting a better run this time. Very close behind, only 4 attempts now with the DRS open. Unless he's running incredibly high wings, the overtake should happen, but he's gaining no time at all. And I think Edzak is probably using the last of his ERS every lap just to stay in front on the main straight. But this is agonisingly slow for Emre. And now nearly 4 seconds behind Alex Wells. Alex is running away with things. And Emre may need to go for an opportunistic dive at some point as Emre lagging a little bit. Hopefully that's not my internet connection. Just looking a bit dodgy. But we're going to go back to the broadcast camera. Emre so close to the back of Edzak. It's just not quite working. Susie pretending to go for a move, but obviously not going to be able to go for a dive from that corner. And Edzak finally into the pit lane, much to the delight of Captain Emre, but he's going to be vulnerable to Susie behind. This battling is going to hurt him even more here. Does have the DRS, however. But Susie with the slipstream. And has been fast generally all weekend, Susie. So I expect them to battle a little bit more. Tussle the gap 4.2 seconds between Alex Wells and Captain Emre. And Yoloman also only 3 seconds behind Emre now. Really catching up. It's interesting there. Sean Goring overtaken by Lockig, but he's going to get the DRS back, possibly going for a little bit of a switch back. Lockig Lau, 9 seconds behind Tomesis currently, and with a relatively long pit lane. I believe the win may be out of the pictures for Tomesis, barring any mistakes from the silent German assassin himself. We will find out. Sean Goring not able to make the moves in the second DRS zone, getting a 3-second time penalty, which won't help. Slowing it down, and we got a yellow flag, and it's for Patrick Farga once more. Bit of possibly a little bit no wing damage, and Sean Goring into the pit lane on these very old mediums. 20 laps, in fact. Paul Lockig. Paul Nadler. Lockig Lau. Duh. Captain Emre sitting the fastest lap of the race. Proof that when he's in free air, he's unstoppable. He just can't get in the free air. But it's now 4 seconds between him and Alex Wells. Hopefully he can catch up. Give us a good battle for the end of this race. But it's not guaranteed as Power Dudek into the pits. And this has been a surprisingly clean race, I have to say. A few front wings changed, but no safety cars yet around the track that people tend to struggle on. Very happy to see. Yeah, very happy to see. Yeah, as Lucky Kalau getting past Ero Laxa. But you're jinxing him, Watch. Laxa letting Lucky Glau go through and on those very old mediums. Laxa may be looking... No, okay, he's pit. I was going to say he may be looking to pit onto the soft, and he may still... I'm interested to see if the strategy pays off for him. Is he onto the hard? Surely not. Not pitting onto the hards here. It's going to be the softs, surely. Yes, it is. It was a bold strategy call. I'm not sure if it will work, but it's worth a try. He's going to come out just behind Crystal, I believe. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight, actually. We're going to stay on board here. It's not going to be very tight. So it was actually... Yeah, there was actually no panic there at all. Either way, worth knowing that the gap between Temesis and Lockig is currently 8.2. Temesis staying out on the hard tyres, maybe looking to pit for the soft compound later on, possibly waiting for that safety car like I was talking about. It's dangerous. It's a very dangerous game here. It's maybe a bit too dangerous for my liking. As Temesis into the pit lane. Braking smoothly, does he speed? No, he doesn't. Is it going to be the soft or medium compound? It's going to be the softs. So this is going to be interesting to see, at the very least. Coming out of the pit lane, Alex will jump in. We've got a yellow flag. It's Patrick Fargo once more. Can Temesis beat Emre? No, he can't. Susie, neither. Is it going to be Yulliman he gets ahead of? It's going to be tight. Susie going for a move on Captain Emre and gets the move done to the inside of turn 1. Beautiful stuff. And Temesis coming out just ahead of P5. The man will be on a charge, but with those soft compound tyres, the charge might end a bit sooner than he would like. We're going to find out. Currently, as the positions stand, Lucky Glau will have 26 points and Temesis 10. And that's going to, a 16-point gap, that's going to mean that with 3 rounds left, there's going to be 40 points in it. Banks, don't count Banks out, but he's not scoring any points today, as of right now, so it may be a bit hard for Banks to be in a championship fight any longer. He's going to be at least 70 points behind with 81. But Temesis already flying on those tyres. Yulliman might just stay in the DRS, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. Temesis, yeah, looks like a man on a mission here. He just has to get his head down and push. There's only a straight in between him and Lockig. It's not undoable, especially with a Lockig mistake. But they don't come that often. As Laxa sets the fastest lap in the race, F1:19.4. Expect Temesis to rival it. Temesis, one issue, actually, didn't think of this, but he may be stuck in the DRS train of Emre and Susie. If he can't dispose Emre very quickly, he may just get stuck. So he's going to have to do a bold overtake on Emre, to say the least. And he is getting a very good run out of turn 7, come turn 8, no, come turn 9. Is he going to go for the move? Yes, he is around the outside. No contact made. Beautiful move. Beautiful move, and that's one car disposed of, and it's now Susie up next. And we've got a yellow flag in the first sector. It's for Patrick Fargo entering the pits once more. I believe that may be the second time he's been lapped. It's been a bit of a nightmare of a showing for him. And would not blame him if he retired from the session, but Temesis setting the fastest lap while making an overtake. Gets the overtake done on Susie into P3. There's a yellow flag in the final sector. And I want to say it's for Barry Kruger. Yes, it is Barry Kruger losing control of the car. But Temesis now up into P3. 10 seconds behind Lockig, but he's out of ERS. So he's not going to be able to push as much as he would like. And now, also an interesting dynamic emerging. Alex Wells and Tomesis, good friends, good teammates, battling for the Constructors' Championship. Are they on terms required to do a little bit of a swap here? I'm not so sure. As we got a yellow flag in the first sector, it's for Banks. May have wing damage. Yes, he does. And is that a safety car? No, it's just a virtual safety car for now. Really not what Tomesis needs, compromising his speed. Unless it's just a yellow flag everywhere. No, this is a virtual safety car, yeah. There's always a chance of someone getting a drive-through penalty as well under VSC conditions. But getting the delta wrong. Tomesis really pushing for it. And Alex into the pit lane, putting on a set of the soft compound. And I'm amazed by that decision. He was... What on earth? I understand it was a virtual safety car. But he was in an easy P2, P3. And he's given it away for what may end up being P8. And he's going to be stuck behind a soft runner of Linus. Linus may have to give the position back, but I don't believe so. It should be a legitimate overtake. I am puzzled by that. I'm puzzled by that move. I think maybe the idea of the VSC's got to him. Maybe he thought it'd be a full course safety car. But I'm not sure that was the correct decision. Yeah, definitely not sure. Don't think it particularly helps Tomesis either. As Banks into the pit lane, so is Ennis. We don't know when this virtual safety car is going to be released, but it gets released now. No one with a drive-through penalty. Good to see. Susie right on the back of Tomesis. And Tomesis losing what may have been 3 seconds during that virtual safety car. That's shocking if that's correct, but wow, yeah, with 7 laps to go, it's going to be very tough for the man from Northern Ireland to get anything more out of this race. Currently, it's going to be 26 points for Lockig, 19 points for Tomesis. So it's going to be a 31-point gap going into the final 3 rounds of Hungary, Abu Dhabi, and Brazil. Susie keeping up with Tomesis, however, on these hard compound tyres. And Susie can actually stay within the DRS range of Tomesis. It's going to say these softs, I don't think they're working. Alex Wells now the man on the charge. He's going to be looking to gain about 1.5 seconds a lap, I want to say, to actually beat his rivals here. And it's making the overtake on Banks. Alex Wells setting the fastest lap. So if he sets the fastest lap, he may even be taking points away from Tomesis. Oh dear, I am bewildered by that move. I don't see the sense in it, but I'm not sure the move was made based on rationale. I mean, on lap 27 now of the Spanish Grand Prix. If you've been enjoying the stream, like the video, subscribe to the channel, check the link in the description below. We'd be happy, more than honoured to have you on board. 2,000 members and growing. The community builds stronger every day. Alex Wells has gained 1.5 seconds on Ivan that lap. So, in fairness, at 118.2, he is going to take the fastest lap away from Tomesis. So it's now going to be a 32-point gap. But catching quite rapidly, expecting to be in the DRS zone of Ivan in about 2 laps' time. And then it's another 2 seconds to Yoloman. I think Alex, yeah, I don't think this has worked, unfortunately. He's going to be catching up. It's now only 1.4 seconds, the gap. And he could even get DRS going into the second DRS straight. Because he's flying, he's gaining about 2 tenths a lap. This is incredible speed. He's putting his absolute all into these lap times. He's not going to get DRS quite, but he's pushing. What is this camera angle? What is the point of this camera angle? I don't know. Susie falling out of the DRS range, but with 9 seconds between Lockig and Tomesis. Lockig will need to make a mistake. Absolutely need to make a mistake. Alex right on the back of Ivan, gaining way quicker than I ever expected. DRS activated. Ivan to the inside. Alex getting the drag, getting the slipstream with the DRS. To the outside he goes. Can he break later than Ivan into turn 1? He's going to be forced off a little bit. Ivan keeps the position for now, but into turn 3, he's going to go around the outside once more. Opening the car, Ivan keeping it to the inside. The tighter line though is going to slow him down. Braking harder for turn 4. Who's it going to be? Alex flashing. The ERS is being drained here. This battle is not helping him. And he's going to get around the outside of of Ivan into turn 5. Finally. It was a beautiful move. Absolutely beautiful move. But is it what he wants? I don't think so. I think Alex Wells is looking to make inroads on the guys ahead. And now he is a solid. What's it going to be? As Ennis spins off in P16. Alex needs to gain 4 seconds on the guys ahead to catch P3. And again, I still think it might be a bit undoable. He has a lot of speed, all granted to him, but this might be biting off a bit too much. He's now 1.8 seconds behind with 4 laps to go. These soft tyres are going to die quite quickly as well. That is important to note. These softs around the circuit, from memory, are not good. The softs are not good. I don't think hard to soft was the smartest strategy either. I think hard to mediums would have been quicker. But then with everyone pit or starting the race on mediums, maybe just mediums to hard would have been the best strategy. Medium to softs, as Linus proved, really not the best strategy. Just kind of put the man in no man's land. And Patrick Farger has went off, and that may be a safety car, because that looks like an actual crash. Is it a safety car? I don't believe so, but Patrick Farger in a legitimate crash there. So we only have 16 runners now. It's been a very, very clean race overall. No safety car. Safety car would have had to come in at the end of lap 31 anyway, but it could have come out. Chose not to, which is a blessing for Lockig. Lockig, I imagine, was sweating quite significantly there. I'm amazed that's worked. Alex now a second behind with 3 laps remaining, and the ERS flashing like you never would have seen before. And Emre right on the back of Susie, battling for the final podium position. It's going to be tense. Really, really tense. I don't understand it. If Alex would have been another 4 seconds ahead. He's got the fastest lap, but that only takes away from Tomisis. Teamwork not in order today. Alex with the DRS not able to make the overtake stick, but he's going to be flying. And oh my God, Emre spun. Oh dear, the Turk has spun, and his battle for the podium position has been over a few laps before you'd expect it to start. He appears to be stuck as well, falling down the order. He may not even score points anymore into the gravel traps, making the safe rejoin. Andreas looking to capitalise. That has been a terrible, terrible corner for him. I don't know quite what happened. There may have been contact. Susie going for a move, but Susie now clearly in P3 as Alex Gio gets the overtake done for P4, and he has 2 laps to catch Susie. We've got a yellow flag in the final sector, and I believe it's for Edsack now. Yes, it is. Making no progress. But yeah, he comes around the final corner. This has not been a good end to this race for AlphaTauri. That's gutting for Captain Emre. He was looking so good. 15 points on the table, and now it's nil qua. Shocking. And Alex Wells just trying to push with all he can. The gap 1.6 seconds to Susie ahead. Can he salvage some form of podium? It's going to be tight. It's definitely going to be tight. I'm not sure he's gained anything from it. But it's possible. The podium is on. If you can extract just a little bit more life from these tyres. All Susie was to get a time penalty. I don't know which one. ERS count, we already know. It's very low for Alex. Expect him to be pushing. There's a yellow flag somewhere in Crystal. Sean Gorings went off track and is giving away points here. Just gutting to see there, but the gap now 1.4. It's gonna be tight. Maybe too much to handle for Alex. He can't make the overtake in the first straight. He has to make it in the second straight. He only has one more opportunity now to make the overtake, and that's if he actually gets into DRS speed or DRS range. Lucky Glau in a world of his own now. Composed. Tamesis losing time on the softs now. It's not worth the strategy call. It was close, but not quite. Then Alex, 1.2 seconds behind. He's not gaining what he needs to gain. Strategy call did not work out. As Lucky Glau is now 10 seconds ahead. And Alex needs a spin from Susie to reap the awards. But nevertheless, Lucky Glau coming around the final corner to win in Spain. He extends his championship lead. What an incredible victory for the German. Absolutely uncontested the entire way round. And it's been a spin. And it's Alex. No, Alex has run out of fuel. Oh my god, Alex has run out of fuel. And Barry Kruger spun on the final sector. I didn't even get to do my normal roll call. Oh, that is shocking. Alex Wells falling down to P6. Susie reaping the award into P3 and Tamesis P2. Yulaman finishing P4 with Ivan Karakov P5. Ero Laxa coming across the line to finish P7 with Captain Emre salvaging a P8. Barry Kruger P9 with Andreas just pipping Crystal to the line by 0.033 or a second. That's so close. If it wasn't for the 3-second time penalty, but Andreas picking up the final point. Crystal in P11 with Edzak P12, Paweł Dudek P13 crossing the line now. Porbeck just behind in P14, followed by Ennis, the final person to finish this race, ignoring Banks, who was already lapped. It's been a bit of a diabolical race for Ennis, not where he would have wanted to have been. But across the line, rounding out the finishers, is the Albanian and Patrick Farga, Apo, and Fabrizio Troncoso, the man from Spain. The drivers not able to finish this race. Absolutely gutting scenes there. Heartbreak for many a man. Heartbreak for Luckig's teammate. And Luckig doing the gritty disgusts me. But now, 26 points for Luckig. 18 for Cameron. 0 for Banks. And a DNF for Patrick. Just DNF. And for Emre, it's going to be 4 points. So these are the people still in the battle. Oh yeah, also, how could I forget? A DNF for Apo. So, Lucky Glau is your race winner today, followed by Tamesis in P2 and Susie rounding out the podium. Yulaman P4 on his return, followed by Ivan Karakov. Alex Wells running out of fuel on the final corner, finishing P6 with Ero Laxa behind. Captain Emre salvaging a P8 with Barry Kruger on his F3 return, getting P9, and Andreas rounding out the points with Crystal, Edzak, Paweł Dudek, Porbeck, Ennis, Banks, Relo Dia, Apo, and Fabrizio making out the rest of the finishers. Um, Paul Nadal is now on 192 points to meet Temesis' 160. There's a 32-point gap, and with only 81 points available from now until the end of the season, I unfortunately have to say that Patrick Varga and Emre Demir are out of this championship fight. Only 3 men can win it now. Lukic, Temesis, and Banks. But with Banks 71 points behind, it's going to take an incredible effort to come back from this. A disastrous race for some, an amazing race for others. I'm going to get Lukic and Temesis in the party. I want to hear their thoughts on what happened. And Susie, if Susie would like to join. Wow. And I can't rally up the constructors yet, but with that points, yeah, I would have to say it's probably AlphaTauri's to lose now. As unfortunate as that is. Lukic, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Another race win. 32 points ahead of Temesis now. One hand on the trophy. Incredible race. You were
Thank you.
almost literally from start to end in the race lead. Only when you had to pit were you not leading. Give me your thoughts.
Oh, it was a very cool race. I had a very good start, first time. Um, yeah, was cool. No safety car. Yeah,
Well, you mentioned no safety car, and welcome to the
yeah,
call to meet us. When
yeah,
Patrick Fargo crashed on lap 29, I want to say, maybe lap 30,
yeah.
did you start sweating?
A little bit, but I
I
know it was not a lot enough laps for a safety car zone.
well, from I think oddly enough, I believe on lap 30, the safety car can come out. It just has to go in on lap 31. But Temesis would have caught up to you, but for
Yeah,
whatever reason, the safety car didn't come out. And I think this might maybe the first time this year we've not had the safety car. Um, but
There was none in France.
French. Yeah,
oh, okay, so
So that's two races in a row.
two races
yeah.
in a row where you guys have driven cleanly. What's going on? Um, but yeah, it was a fantastic performance from you, Lucky. The safety car didn't come out, and you managed to run away with things. Tomesis, I want to hear
Uh,
your thoughts on the Patrick Varga crash and the possible safety car.
oh my days. I was, well, yeah, I was screaming. I was like, please come out because, I mean, I knew Alex needed it, and also I just needed it as well to catch up because I felt like I could have maybe challenged Paul if
Mm,
we were to like be bunched up just because of like tires. But yeah, virtual
yeah.
safety car. I don't know what happened there. Um,
Were you in a party with Alex?
yes.
You were in a party, okay, because from my perspective, it looked like a guaranteed at least double podium.
Mm,
Um, essentially, unfortunately, being thrown away for a bold strategy call that didn't work, and
yeah.
also took a point away from you um,
Mhm.
for flying lap. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Especially if you think there's going to be it's going to turn into a full safety car or whatever. It was worth
Mhm.
the gamble, I suppose. Just unfortunately didn't come out. But you were given P2 because of it.
Yeah.
Um, was your intention from the start to do a hard soft strategy, or was it later on in the
No.
race you decided to put onto the softs?
Yeah, it was later on. I retired after my second lap in quali, which meant I saved a set of softs. I wasn't planning on doing hard soft. But then when I stayed out on the hards, I realised I wasn't much slower than Paul, and well, 2-3 tenths slower than each lap, but it wasn't that much because it was like a 10-second gap.
Yeah.
But then yeah, I stayed out, and then I was like saying I'm gonna go onto the softs eventually, and it was when I went to about 70% of my hards is when I went in.
Oh, okay.
And I also managed to get. It did say like at one point that if I pitted, I was going to come out P8. I managed to get it to P5 before actually pitting.
Yeah, I did think that you were likely staying out. I mean, obviously there's the safety car factor, but the
Yeah,
more you stay out, the less chance of you being stuck behind other cars. Which,
yeah,
for Alex's race, and at least initially, Emre was really stuck behind Edzak,
yeah.
and it
Yeah.
lost like 5 seconds. It was an incredible
Alex was
amount of
laughing
time
his head
lost.
off at it.
Yeah, it was shocking, but he let Alex drive away, and then Alex gave it away at the end. But it
Yeah,
was
sadly
whatever.
he underfueled a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I did think it was a
So
spin, and it looked
la-
more like
last
losing
corner.
fuel.
Oh.
That's disgusting. Were you racing in a party with Emre Lockig?
No.
Okay, I was just seeing if you two were also doing the teamwork. But I do believe this means that AlphaTauri extend their lead in the Constructors' Championship as well over Mercedes.
Wait,
Um,
does it?
well, yeah,
Alpha
it's
Tal- Alex got
26.
P6, didn't he?
Yeah, but 26 plus 4 is 30, and then
Oh
you
yeah,
get
Emery as well.
18.
Yeah,
It's close, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
it's 18 and it's 30 plus 26. So
yeah.
yeah, AlphaTauri gained 4 points at least. Um, are you still thinking about the constructors, Cameron? And
Um,
for you, Lockig, do you think the constructors is now over? Do you think maybe not trying to get a cocky answer out of you, but
mhm.
maybe do you think the titles are won now?
No. Everything can happen. So I
Do
think
you
not.
think you're going to be racing in every race until the end of the season?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
And
can.
ah.
yeah, that's bad news for Cameron. But Cameron, yeah, are you still thinking about the constructors?
Um, I mean, Alex, I don't know when he is racing, but I mean, it can really depend if Alex isn't racing and then what reserve teammate I get, really.
True.
I wouldn't mind the likes of Edzak, Barry, any of them as a teammate for like when the seat's open to try help out. But I mean, I'll still think about it a little bit. But I'm really just focusing on trying to be consistent. And I mean,
Yeah.
3 seconds in a row, French sprint, French racing now here as well. So yeah, I'm just trying to work on being consistent and not just being too pushy and spinning like I did in France.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think, I'm not sure I spotted errors from either of you two, um, aside from the strategy call, I suppose. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very, very good race. Um, Unfortunately, I have to head off. I feel ill. I feel
All right.
tired,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I've made the mistake of saying I'll go to someone's house, so I'm gonna have to manage all these issues, and
Ah.
I'm breaking. So no, but to be fair, that was kind of the full interview. Unfortunately, Theo Smith couldn't make it, but the Haas's were fantastic today.
Yeah, I've gave congrats to Connor, P18 to P4, Coliban, and he does that.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I said it in the broadcast that in F3, the quali ban brings out something in people.
Yeah,
People get the
whenever you have
quali
a
ban, and
Coliban, you can get a podium. I
yeah,
mean,
people
Apple
get
got two
angry.
podiums,
Linus got P7 from a quali ban as well, which is still pretty good.
and then like
Um,
Baku, I had a quali, I got
mm,
third. Yeah, so like whenever Coliban equals podium or near podium.
yeah, a good result. It's
Yeah.
better result than when you actually qualify in that
Hmm.
position. Um, But nevertheless, thank you both for joining me. Um, I have been your host as always, Liam Cross, and this has been Ero Ps F3, round 13 at the Spanish Grand Prix. We get to see Lokic extend his championship lead to Mises very much in the hunt and Banks lurking in the shadows. Um, if you enjoyed this stream, like the video, subscribe to the channel, give us a bit of give us a bit of support. It really helps us out. If you want to get involved, click the link in the description below. Go to the Discord. Don't have to race, but just building the community. Ero's got 2,000 fantastic members. We'd love to have you on board as well. If you want to see a bit more action, at 7 p.m., PS and PC F2 are racing around the same track we just raced at. And then from tomorrow at 4 p.m., Sunday time, PC F1 will be battling it out. And then 2 hours later, the Big Daddy, as always, PSF1, Black Box, Gwil, Acer. It's a big title fight. I don't know who's going to win. You don't know who's going to win. They definitely don't know who's going to win. You're going to love it. I've been Liam, and I really hope you've enjoyed this stream. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you next week. And I'm not streaming. What the fuck?
Was?
I turned the stream off. Oh, I didn't turn the stream off. Pardon my French. The stream is still going. Ha ha ha! I don't know what just happened there. Okay, that was terrifying. Ignore me. Have a nice day, guys.